you train full contact in Jeet Kune Do?
Den spürt man. Das ist so hier an der Schiene, wie sagt man, wie nennt man das hier? Kniescheibe, ja.
Still injured. This is my old student. He is visiting me today and he's helping me out for this video. And he is also a filmmaker, so make sure you go to his webpage. I'm gonna put a link below and check his videos. And what he is doing is making all kinds of commercials for martial arts schools or for restaurants or even for flight lines. Charities, like he said. So his name is Karim Davis. Make sure you visit Karim Davis Films and check the links below. Guys, no subject today. In this video we're going to talk about can you actually train full contact in Jeet Kune Do. For this subject, I'm going to show you a video what can happen if you kick too hard. Anyway. As you can see in the clip, I was training with a training partner Fabian, and we didn't do anything full contact or too hard. This was actually at the end of the trainings. We both were pretty tired by now, and he was kicking with his left leg, and I just did my side kick and kicked to his leg, and he actually kicked closer to my side kick. It doesn't look really strong and powerful, but it was enough so his bone break. Actually his ankle broke at this point, and he can train for at least 5 or 6 weeks. He has a pencil line fracture and he has to wear a cast for a couple of weeks. Now back to the subject, can you actually train full contact Jeet Kune Do? The problem with this is if you train Jeet Kune Do as it is supposed to be trained. So you attack one of the targets and you use techniques that are designed to attack these targets. Then training full contact, even using protection, it's pretty impossible because you would for 100% injure your training partner. Even if you see that he's wearing here a motor cross protection to his knees, shin also as well, and even above the knee, so for a small part on the upper leg. If I would side kick this with full force, I would break his leg, and even if I don't drive fully through, but he is in forward motion, like when he steps in, over the side kick against his movement, you can expect severe damage on his knee, because all the tendons in knee, you would at least stretch them so far that he would get injured. So the problem with this is you cannot train this full contact. And I have seen people get their knees damaged by training, so this is really not a joke, so you have to watch when you train Jeet Kune Do. And it's a different thing when you do it for sport. I mean, not Jeet Kune Do, you do martial martial arts for sport, and then you kick people in the upper leg. It doesn't really matter what system it is, but most systems don't use this kind of techniques. In Jeet Kune Do, you would attack in straight line, you would attack the knee, you can attack the groin, and even if he has a protection leg, normally we wear two protectors, one outside and one inside, and you cannot kick their full force, because if you do, you still get a lot of pain. The thing with full contact is, if you train Jeet Kune Do, you can train Jeet Kune Do contact, but you cannot go full contact. When I land my side kick on the target, then I never go really through, because otherwise I will injure him. So you train like this much, and then you pull your leg back before you really injure him. Sometimes it can happen. So usually I don't let my guys train contact training until they have control over the techniques, whether it's a side kick or even a straight lead, because a straight lead is also very, very powerful punch. You drive it also for the target, and you have a full body weight behind it. And I have seen people punch a straight lead with no control and almost knocking out the other guy in full helmet protection and injure the leg. When you punch a straight lead, you punch full through and you slap the punch through the target. This is a very powerful punch. Even this you cannot do in full contact if you do it right. To develop strength and power in kicks, you have to use pads, and you have to know how to drive through. You use these things for developing power. And that's the difference between sport fighting and street fighting. In sport fighting, you can actually kick pretty hard, because usually you don't kick to the areas where you break somebody's leg immediately. Also the reason why Fabian was injured, because I wore these shoes and they are pretty hard here. The shoe sole is really, really hard. Because you can't go full force with a training partner, you have to train, you have to learn to train full force, at least on the focus mitts, kicking back, punching back. So when you kick, for example, when you kick the side kick, you have to learn to drive through the net. Okay? So you drive through the focus mitt, and you don't kick like just on the surface, which you can do with his leg. If I would do this, he would be over. Like you saw with the Fabian, I didn't even kick like 20% force, and because he kicked as well, these two forces combined, and it was enough, so he's going low. So guys, just so you know, you have to understand, always train carefully, and even if you have protection, and you can go full out on these